And now I would like to welcome Senator Torres Ray.
Buenas noches. I am so happy to see you here tonight. I want you to know that many immigrants come to this building to have their final hearing, their final immigration hearing, where their fate in this country will be decided. Many of you didn't even know this building was here. Now you know, and I want you to remember that. Not just to remember that you were here today, but that they are here every day, waiting for that moment that will define their lives in this country. Please do not forget. So tonight, around the world and around this country, many people are gathering for these vigils. Many of us are gathering. We're gathering together to say that we absolutely oppose the separation of children from their families, that we oppose their detention, and we oppose these detentions in conditions that no person, no child, anywhere shall suffer. That is what we are here for. We are here also to remind you that we need to remind the country that this president has only made agreeing on an approach to immigration in the United States far more difficult. And he has done so by systematically creating a false narrative about immigrants and fabricating a crisis that does not exist. Yes. So many of you have asked each other, many of you certainly have called me, have texted me, have sent messages in social media to say, what can I do? What can I do? And I have asked myself, what can I do? We are going to give you some ideas tonight. The people who are going to speak tonight are going to give you some ideas. But I only wanted to say one thing before I invite them to come to speak. I wanted to remind you that we didn't get here this year, that we didn't get here because this administration made these decisions. We got here because we fell into complacency. We fell into a trap in our actions and our thinking. We believed that we were safe. We believed that we were electing people who were working on behalf of all of us and who had our best interests at heart. I am going to give you an example of something that happened in Washington this week. Only 19 Democrats voted against the government funding deal. Mostly the Hispanic caucus and a few progressives. The House of Representatives was 2 votes short of approving $333 billion to spend at the border detaining families. Only 19 Democrats voted against this.
That's right.
The measure contained $1.4 billion in funding for physical border barriers when most Democrats were opposed to them. And it included funding for immigration enforcement efforts, in particular, beds to detain people apprehended at the border. Most Democrats didn't want that, but they voted for it. So the conservatives wanted $5.7 billion to create an industry for incarcerating people. I am going to remind you, I have been in the Senate for 12 years. We do this. We approve these measures that we disagree with, time and time again. I don't have the time to read the names of the people who voted against this, but all I can tell you is that not all the people who represent Minnesota actually voted on behalf of this package. Actually, only our representative Ilhan Omar opposed this proposal. She was the only one. I need to remind you of that because we need voices like the voice of our representative in Washington. And all of you know that that is not easy. But we need her, and we need more voices like her voice.
That's right.
Let's remind our representatives that they represent us, that they represent the children at the border, and that they need to be fearless, and that they need to represent all of us, and that that is our expectation. That is my message tonight, and I thank you for being here tonight. Thank you. I am going to introduce now the Speaker of the House of Representatives, one of the strongest voices we have on behalf of immigrants who authored a very important bill for my immigrants, and it was driver's licenses for all. He's
That's
here
right.
tonight, and we welcome you, Representative Ryan Winkler. Thank you for being a voice. Thank you for bringing the voice. Thank you for bringing the voice of the Minnesota House. Thank you.